Hey everyone, my name is Wedge, and we're now halfway through the first week of Eldritch Moon preview season, and while we've seen some crazy stuff so far, today is going to be awesome. We finally get a legendary creature card for some characters we've been waiting for. We see some tree sadness and a lot more. If you enjoy our preview videos, make sure to hit that like button, helps out a lot. Roughest translation ever incoming. Stitcher's Graft is 1 mana for an artifact equipment with an equip cost of 2. Equipped creature gets +3/+3. Whenever equipped creature attacks, it does an untap during its controller's next untap step. Whenever Stitcher's Graft becomes unattached from a permanent, sacrifice that permanent. At first glance, you might be afraid to play this card because the second that equipment unequips, the creature's dead. Also, it doesn't untap. Doesn't seem so great, but think of it this way. This equipment is crazy cheap, and putting it on something like Sylvan Advocate or anything with Vigilance, or if you play Always Watching, this card becomes way better, like leagues better. Turn 2 Sylvan Advocate into turn 3 playing and equipping this, that's a 5/6 charging straight at your opponent's face. This equipment definitely has value, just put it on something that has Vigilance, just please. Curious Homunculus is 2 mana for a 1/1 Homunculus. You can tap it to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 3 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, transform it into Voracious Reader. A 3/4 Eldrazi Homunculus with prowess. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Now, I'm not going to lie, if there was a way to take advantage of the ability the turn it comes down, this could be eternal playable. Not joking. The first ability is useful, and when it flips, it becomes amazing. The problem is that unlike Goblin Electromancer, you can't utilize its power the turn it comes down. And in decks where you'd want a card like this, you'd need the ability straight away, not a turn later. If it weren't for that, I'd be freaking out. Even with that though, if the blue-red spell-based control deck sticks around in Standard, this thing is great for that. Super powerful and easy to flip. Tree of Perdition is 4 mana for a 0/13 plant with Defender. You can tap it and exchange target opponent's life total with Tree of Perdition's toughness. For those who don't remember, Tree of Redemption was printed in original Innistrad. It was a great sideboard card against burn strategies. Great wall and way to keep you alive. Now, Tree of Perdition is so much less helpful to you and so much more annoying for your opponent. There is something to keep in mind. There is no time when the tree has 0 toughness that you can use the ability. So if you use something like Twisted Image, you can't in response use the ability. The tree will be dead when it resolves, therefore the ability has no toughness to resolve with. Best use for this card, Tree into Triskaidekaphobia. That's just savage. 13 for days, so good. Also, can we take a moment to talk about that flavor text? Look at the original one. The Executioner's Tree in Thraben Cathedral holds the power to absolve more than the souls of the hanged. That's nice. The new one, there will be no absolution. Wow, yeah, Innistrad is screwed. Gisa and Geralf are back in action. 2 of anything, 1 blue and 1 black for a 4/4 legendary creature human wizard. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. During each of your turns, you may cast a zombie creature card from your graveyard. Gisa and Geralf is amazing. Do not doubt that. This card has zombie tribal goodness written all over it, exactly what zombie commander players were looking for. Choosing between this and Grimgrin, I do not envy your position. Let's talk Standard for a second. The card is brutal with Prized Amalgam, absolutely devastating. The problem? We still need at least 1 zombie that's cheap. Relentless Dead is not enough. Gisa and Geralf definitely bring zombie tribal and Standard to another level, but we really need that low drop zombie. If we get it, the zombie tribe is looking sweet, like super sweet. Loving this card. Bloodhall Priest is 2 of anything, 1 black and 1 red for a 4/4 vampire cleric with madness costing 1 of anything, 1 black and 1 red. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, if you have no cards in hand, the priest deals 2 damage to target creature or player. This is definitely a move in the right direction. Utilizing the hellbent status of what a vampire deck is normally like is a great idea. Being able to take advantage of blowing through your hand is sweet. Bloodhall Priest having madness itself is also nice. Here's the problem. The burn in Standard right now is absolutely terrible. Dealing with value-based green-white token and planeswalker decks is just impossible right now. We need a powerful madness enabler. We need that discard outlet. Bloodhall Priest is definitely strong. It's super powerful. All we need is something better than Call the Bloodline, and I think vampires can really make that next step. The priest is sweet, though. Our good friends Jimmy and Josh at the Command Zone podcast just received a pretty sweet preview card. I would love to talk about it here, but Soul Separator is ridiculous and you should really listen to them break it down. Let's just say it does exactly what you think it would do. It separates the soul. Click the link right here or in the description. You won't be disappointed. They're good people. I think that about covers today's preview cards. Let me know what you think about everything we talked about in the comments, especially Gisa and Geralf and the Bloodhall Priest. Do you think these are good signs for our favorite tribes? Hopefully we get more from them. Gotta know your thoughts, so remember, talk away. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Eldritch Moon spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus, I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. Now that we've seen the first pieces of tribal support, you may want to beat the curve and grab some tribal goodness before we get more and prices go up. Let's begin with Relentless Dead. You can grab your copies right now for only $6.50. That's a great price considering what it used to be and what it will be if zombies take off. Don't say I didn't warn you. Get them now if you want them. Want to support the vampires? You should. Olivia's crazy, stupid cheap right now, like $4.50. That doesn't even make sense considering her power. Another mythic you should grab if you need it before the spike if the tribes get more support. Just, please, if you need them, get them.
Wow.